Beautiful friend, October 21st, we're going to have a transformational, truth revealing new moon in the air sign of Libra, the sign of equal give and take, relationship harmony, and karmic justice. This new moon is supporting you to take back your power if necessary, to reprioritize or prioritize your most important values now, and to commit wholeheartedly to your long-term happiness and well-being. And this may mean making a significant change for some of you, moving some things around to set you on the right course. So in this video, I'm excited to share with you who will most feel this new moon in Libra, what are the themes that you can expect to play out in your life, and what are the other planets making aspects to this new moon and to each other, telling us about how we can make the most of this new moon. In part 2, as always, I will do readings for all 12 signs, letting you know where you will be feeling this new moon in your natal astrology chart and pulling an oracle card for each of the signs as well. Because every new and full moon tells a story, you want to watch part 1 to get the full scoop, wisdom and insights, and practical tips on navigating this new moon with the most ease and grace. As I was channeling the energy of this new moon, which I do for every video I do for you, some very clear messages came through with the astrology that I can't wait to share with you. But before I do, I want to say welcome if you are brand new to the channel. It is my intention to create a like-minded community. So if you want to join us to move forward with your tribe, take a moment right now to tap the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Welcome back to those of you who watch my videos, who have graciously subscribed to the channel. Your subscribes make a huge difference and they're free. So thank you for doing that now if you haven't already. If we are just now meeting for the first time, I'm Betsy Gutting. I'm a psychic astrologer, intuitive life coach, and the author of the book, The Magic of Saying Yes, Answering Your Heart's True Calling. It is always my intention to empower, inspire, and support you with practical tips through Western tropical astrology. I do astrology consultations. It is my absolute joy. I love meeting you one-on-one on Zoom and illuminating your chart and the current transits for you. So if you'd like to know more, stay tuned till the end of this video and I have a free gift for you. Stay tuned to find out what the gift is and how you can get it. And lastly, I write about the astrology in my weekly inspirational astrology updates. If you'd like to receive those, go to my website, sign up for free, and you'll get my free gift instant download at the same time. Now, all new moons represent a clean slate. They gift us with the energy of a fresh start. They begin a brand new manifestational cycle. This is how we manifest our dreams, how we co-create a new reality, how we align with our destiny by setting intentions for what we want to bring into form at the time of the new moon. But the new moon is a time of darkness. We look in the sky, we don't see anything. And so that naturally, on a human level, pulls us into a reflective state. We reflect, we consider our options. We often go inward and come to terms with where are we now? And for a lot of us, we can have emotions that come up around the current state of our life. Does it match what our heart really wants or not? And when I was preparing for this video, I got the clear message that this new moon, if you want one sentence to encapsulate it, it is commit to your current priorities. Because for a lot of us, our priorities have shifted over the last year or two. We are in a groundbreaking time. Many things around you, certainly we see this in the collective, are unstable. And that is an understatement, right? We're in a new world. Much of what we may have counted on as true structures in our lives or in society have changed, are changing, will change. And the energy of Libra, where the new moon is, opposite Aries, where we just had the full moon, these signs, wherever they are in your natal chart, are big players in this process of change. Why? Because Saturn and Neptune entered Aries this year, and Neptune represents an era. Saturn and Neptune coming together in Aries began a new era. And so this Aries-Libra axis that is very up for us right now, you could see this as what are you committing to? What are you creating? What are you prioritizing in your new era? And when Saturn and Neptune, after their retrogrades back into Pisces, go back into Aries in early 2026, that is a big new beginning point, a big turning point for all of us personally and collectively for sure. So right now during this new moon, we are preparing for the big change upon us in early 2026. And so it's very possible that you are beginning to write a new chapter. Maybe it's in the planning stage. And if not a new chapter, a new project, a new relationship, or even a new timeline. Now, timing wise, because all lunations, new and full moons have a timeline, this new moon in Libra is going to culminate fully in 6 months, April of 2026. That's when we're going to have the full moon in Libra. Also, 2 weeks from this new moon, when we have the Scorpio full moon, you may experience a mini culmination of this Libra new moon. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that we had a full moon in Aries 2 weeks before this Libra new moon. And I bring this up because new and full moons are not isolated events. They work together. They are a continuum of energy. And the theme that I shared with you in my Aries full moon video is it's time to take charge of your life, to take the reins of your life. I'm getting an image of the Chariot card in the tarot, if you know that, where the spirit, your spirit is leading the charge, is inspiring you and leading the charge and pulling you forward, with the goal of freedom, feeling independent, and feeling lit up by what you are committing to, what you know is important to create in your life. And so if you were one of the ones that felt that Aries full moon strongly, and it was a potent full moon, you could now have clarity and feel inspired about something that you want to manifest, something that you want to create. But Aries is the I am. Aries is the I know. I just know that this is what I have to pursue. This is a Libra new moon, and Libra is partnership. Libra brings in other people. Libra brings in cooperation, collaboration, teamwork. If you are partnered, it brings in your connection and your negotiations and feeling supported or not supported by your partner, your close friends, or people that you might partner with in business. And so I believe that we are now bringing what we know our heart really wants, we're bringing it to our partnerships, and we're assessing, we're reflecting on who's in our court, who supports us, who is getting on that train and heading toward the new timeline with us. Or perhaps where are we realizing that there will be some parting of ways, or maybe friendships that take less of a priority. And because we're not just in relationship with other people, we're in relationship with everything that's important to us. I'm in relationship with my car. I'm in relationship with the foods that I eat. I'm in relationship with the beauty that I create. I'm in relationship first and foremost with myself, with my heart, our relationships to money, to our health, to our homes. Any of these relationships could be up for you during this new moon. And you also, during that Aries full moon, could have opened up to a whole new identity, a new way of seeing yourself. And this Libra new moon could feel like a birth, a rebirth, or a birth of seeing yourself with new eyes. Now, because it's a new moon, the sun and the moon are both in the same sign. They are together in Libra. They are conferring, clarifying your desires. The themes of balance, harmony, recalibration, feeling supported, knowing that you're not doing your life by yourself. You do have support. In Libra energy, we also love beauty. We want to feel like the artists of our life. We want to feel like we have the power to co-create a beautiful life. And not only this, Libra is a cardinal air sign. Cardinal signs are the go-getters of the zodiac. They like to initiate new things. They are goal-oriented. They initiate a season, and think of the power that it takes for nature to move into a new season. This is the power that is underneath us, supporting us during this new moon. And because it's air energy, it's conversation, it's ideas, it's new possibilities, back and forth, working together for an end purpose, an outcome that will bring that balance and harmony back into our lives if it's been missing. Libra rules the 7th house of committed relationships, people who have your back and you have their back, a mutually reciprocal bond that you can count on for support. And this is not just romantic relationships. It's not just spouses and significant others. It's besties, coworkers, anyone that is significant in your life right now. And I hear from so many people on a spiritual path, I don't want to be partnered. I don't ever want to have to depend on another person again in a significant way. But we are all in divine partnership with our higher self, our spirit. And the truth is that we as humans have a universal need to love and feel loved. To love and feel loved and to have a sense of belonging is a core need that every single human on this planet has. So we can be dysfunctionally independent. And Libra energy says, instead, let's move toward healthy interdependence. And this is why during a Libra new moon, you may experience negotiations, agreements, or contracts could come up. You could be renegotiating a boundary. Boundaries are huge in Libra energy. Libra rules the scale, so you could be dealing with something legal. We all want to feel respected. We all want to feel honored for who we are at our core. And you could find yourself seeking out stability and trust with one or more people. On a really practical level, you could be taking a relationship to the next level. You could be proposing to somebody. Somebody could be asking you, do you want to move forward in this relationship? Or you could be thinking about, are we still meant to be together? Are we still headed on the same train, close enough in our consciousness that we can grow together? And I always think it's helpful to remember the lower expression of any energy for Libra. It's being overly accommodating. Resentments can build up in relationship, and yet we can remain passive with the person that we are silently resenting and often blaming, rather than taking action, rather than being truthful, rather than having the honest conversations, which this Libra moon is encouraging us to do. Coming off the heels of the Aries full moon, we are encouraged to be brave, to take a risk, and to be honest with ourselves about whether we're holding on to any unhealthy dynamic or pattern in a relationship because we're afraid of upsetting the apple cart or we're afraid of being on our own. The higher expression is healthy, joyful, supported interdependence. So who will most feel this new moon in Libra? It's happening at 28 degrees, almost the very last degree, 28 degrees of Libra. Those of you who have planets or points between 24 and 29 degrees of Libra or the other cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, or Capricorn, you will feel this Libra new moon most intensely. Or if you have planets or points between 0 and 3 degrees of the fixed signs, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, or Taurus, you will feel this new moon intensely, most likely as well. We're all going to feel it collectively. And at the very least, you may be navigating the themes of this new moon wherever it's happening in your natal astrology chart, which I will share with you in the 12 sign readings. Now, the planetary aspects to this new moon are growthful. Why do I say this? First of all, the new moon is going to make an out of sign square to Pluto. Pluto energy is intense. Pluto energy grows us. It moves us forward in our evolutionary soul growth. It puts us often on a new timeline, but it's often very uncomfortable and sometimes painful getting there. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a painful experience for you if you're one of the ones most affected. But in true Pluto form, because Pluto does want to show us the truth, Pluto wants us to be in our power. Pluto doesn't want us to be taking actions or not taking action based on a lie. Pluto often illuminates something for us that was previously hidden, that was previously buried in our unconscious. It comes to light so that we can process the emotions of it and release what is often a fear or anger, release that from our energy field. I call Pluto the great detoxifier because it helps us to detox from situations, relationships, habits, codependence, etc., that are unhealthy for us. So a Pluto square can feel like a shock. It is often dark, can be something shady or deceptive, such as betrayal. But when we're on the other side of it, after we have purged the emotions that come up as a result of a Pluto square, We are stronger than ever. We are empowered to say, never again. I will never settle for this again. I am now fully committed to my own happiness. I'm taking charge of my life, which is what this new moon is supporting us to do. It will also reveal, most likely, if there's someone in our life that we have counted on, that we relied upon, but truly is not supportive of our dream going forward. This could very well come to light as well. The second planetary conversation going on is the new moon, that's the sun and the moon in Libra, making what we call a T-square, which is also uncomfortable, a T-square to both Jupiter in Cancer and Chiron in Aries. Jupiter in Cancer is an expander. It wants to support us to feel emotionally secure, expanding blessings in the realm often of home and family, the mother or our own mothering, feeling rooted and secure. Chiron in Aries represents a core wound, a sensitivity, a vulnerability, often an ouch where you get poked and you have a feeling that maybe you had when you were very young. This only happens so that we can heal it, right? This only happens to show us where we need to give ourselves that love, where we need to put our arms around our inner child and help that very young part of us feel emotionally secure, feel loved, so that we can expand Jupiter in Cancer, our sense of all of my needs are met. My core need to love and feel loved is satisfied. Now, also, the new moon squaring Jupiter itself can be really fun. That could be celebratory as long as we don't overindulge. Very likely you will want more carbs during this new moon. Jupiter in Cancer loves comfort food. Believe me, Jupiter has been conjunct my natal moon lately, and my whole no carbs eating plan just flew right out the window. But know that if any sensitivity, tenderness, or ouch comes up for you during this new moon around family, around sibling or childhood dynamics, this could have to do with a karmic relationship, that would be very natural. But also, you could feel really inspired by this T-square to take on your own identity as a healer or as a healing professional. You could be saying yes to starting your own spiritually based business. You could be stepping into a new identity as someone who wants to give back everything that you have learned and grown through in your own healing journey. Give back to others, help others. Now, we always want to look at the planetary ruler of the new moon for further clues as to what this new moon is bringing. Libra is ruled by Venus, so the planetary ruler is Venus, and Venus is connected to love, relationships, money, pleasure, comfort, the delicious things in life. Venus is co-present during this new moon in the sign of Libra, which is quite lovely and supportive, but she is widely opposing Neptune in Aries. Neptune in Aries is at 0 degrees. It's poised during this new moon to go retrograde synchronistically the next day. Neptune in Aries will retrograde back into Pisces at another critical degree, 29 degrees. So 0 and 29, they are both considered anaretic degrees. We feel them intensely. And Venus in Libra is making a wide opposition to Neptune in Aries before Neptune goes retrograde the next day. What does this mean? This opposition is supporting us to come into alignment with the highest octave of love. Unconditional love, compassion for others, compassion for yourself, forgiveness if that's needed. Unconditional love is an incredibly transformational energy. Is there any energy more transformational than pure love? I love you just the way you are. I radically accept myself, regardless of disappointments, letdowns, past mistakes. I radically, totally, and completely love and accept myself. Those are some words you might want to use to support yourself during this new moon. Now, the lower expression of Venus opposing Neptune can be disappointment, disillusionment, the rose-colored glasses coming off, the person coming off the pedestal, you coming off a pedestal. It could be a breakup for sure, but this is not a close opposition. They are 9 degrees apart. It can also be like wildly, madly crazy in love with someone. It can be that too. Regardless of how it plays out, my friend, I strongly encourage you to use this as a pathway to love. Now, lastly, it is really interesting to me that Mercury and Mars in Scorpio, in deep diving Scorpio, where we want to get to the root of the matter, and Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars and Pluto, and This new moon is making that square to Pluto. Mercury and Mars in Scorpio are exactly conjunct at the same degree, 20 degrees. 20 represents partnership. The 2 is partnership, cooperation, collaboration, and the 0 amplifies that 2. It's a highly, highly sensitive energy, the 20. Highly sensitive. So with 2 personal planets, Mercury and Mars, during this new moon, conjunct at this highly sensitive degrees of this very deep diving sensitive water sign, this will probably be a new moon in which we feel super sensitive. Did I say sensitive enough times? But what I love about Mercury and Mars together, conjunct at 20 degrees of Scorpio, is that they are making an applying trine. They are moving toward a trine, the best aspect we can get, with Jupiter. They won't stay exactly together, but within a few days, each one is going to make a trine to Jupiter, and that is very, very supportive. So we are supported to reflect on and create a brand new beginning. We are supported to envision what will bring calm, peace, balance, harmony back into our life. And we are very much supported to be fiercely honest with ourselves about what relationships, what patterns, what dynamics are coming with us as we move forward into this new era, and which ones are not. If you, my friend, can commit fully to your own well-being and your happiness and intentionally begin to surround yourself with supportive people, people who have your back, this should be a beautiful new moon for you. Okay, let us do the 12 sign readings now. Listen to your rising sign. This is the area of your natal chart corresponding to the area of your life in which you will experience this new moon in Libra according to the whole sign house system. Listen also to your sun and moon signs, as these will bring further themes that you may very well find relevant and oracle card messages as well. And we're going to start with Libra because, beautiful Libra, this is your new moon. And happy, happy birthday to those of you who have birthdays around this new moon time. And it is happening in the first house of you, your identity, your vitality, your physical wellness, how much energy you feel physically. That comes into play with the first house new moon. Also, your appearance, your look, how you dress. When we have a new moon, it's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. It's a clean slate. And because this is your sign, Libra, this is, who do I want to be now? How do I want to show myself to others? I'm getting this image as I say that of like somebody just like dancing and like, I feel good. I feel good. Da na 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 na. Okay, I don't think I have ever sung that in a video before in my life. So, I trust the channeling that comes through, Libra. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's like a part of you that just wants to jump out and dance and move and sing and just be you. That can be a metaphor. That can be a metaphor for you coming out more as who you really are. And I hope that this new moon gives you a new sense of vitality. There is an out of sign square to Pluto, so there may be a truth, a realization. There may be something that comes to light for you that you didn't see before that wants to free and liberate you from anything that is quote unquote toxic in your life, anything that is not on the up and up, that isn't, where you could be settling. We can all settle in some area of our life at some point, or multiple points. It's a boundaries transit, a square to Pluto. It's saying, where do we have to set boundaries? Is this what you really want? Sometimes it's somebody giving us crumbs instead of the whole cookie, and we realize that's not what I really want. A new moon in your first house is all about you, Libra. It's all about you. We just had that full moon in Aries right before this new moon, and the full moon in Aries was happening in your 7th house of partnerships. So if any relationship, romantic, business, best friends, whatever it is, any relationship that's very important to you is not in alignment with you anymore, or if there's something you need to shift, maybe renegotiate a boundary, maybe redo an agreement, maybe you're signing a new agreement, maybe you're having important conversations with one or more people, that it may very well come up for you during this new moon as well. Watch the first part of this video because it's your new moon, Libra, and you don't want to miss all the different aspects that are going on, the planetary conversations happening that will give you more insight on the new moon, and that's for everyone. But this is a new moon that is saying if you want to break free, if you want to break something out in terms of your expression, in terms of a title, a role that you play, if you want to propose to somebody or you want someone to propose to you, if you're ready to take a relationship to the next level, if you're ready for a promotion, if you're ready to have your own business, you want to change your identity, your I am in some way. An I am identity is not just a traditional role or title in relationship or at work. It's also, I am a spirit of pure love, right? I'm giving you some examples, but it's also, I am somebody who loves being single, or I am somebody who wants to be in a relationship, or I am the light. Lots of ways. I'm a dancer. I'm an artist. There are lots of ways that that can be expressed. I'm a tarot card reader. I'm an astrologer. Lots of different ways that we can describe ourselves. But a new moon in the first house is saying it's a fresh new beginning for you and who you want to be and how you want to express yourself. So Libra, with that, let us pull a card for you now and let's see what the cards have to say. Beautiful Libra. Your card is the Divine Feminine, the Cosmic Womb. Look at the colors in this card. The first thing I see is the beauty and the artistic nature of the card. It's very soft. The edges are very soft. It's the cosmic womb. Interesting that I said wound. Cosmic wound. There is a T-square from this moon to Chiron, which represents a core wound, and to Jupiter, which is in Cancer, the planet of expansion. We are meant to go inside. If there is any ouch or tenderness or vulnerability that comes up around this new moon time, we are meant to go inside and connect to that. What is it? What is that core wound? What is that ouch? Is it abandonment? Is it shame? Is it fear? Is it, could be a lot of different things. But because that came out of my mouth and I meant to say the cosmic womb, it may take you into the cosmic womb. It may be saying, go into the womb of Mother Earth herself, or go into the womb of spirit and allow yourself to be surrounded by light. Allow yourself to be healed by light. The divine feminine, the cosmic force of divine love, divine love. I talk about divine love in part one of the video as well because of the Venus-Neptune opposition that's also happening during this moon. So this could be a very spiritual new moon for you, Libra. You could have some sort of awakening. You could have a deep healing. There's something else I was going to say. It came into my head and then it left my head. That's what it is that if you want to do a guided meditation where I guide you to connect with your spiritual guides to unconditional love, where if you want to feel yourself surrounded by your loving guides and I guide you to receive a gift from the divine as well, go to my website and subscribe to my weekly updates for free, and you'll get that instant download meditation at the same time. Beautiful Libra, it is time to surrender and receive the love of the divine in the cosmic womb so that you can be reborn. I feel like that this is I like to laugh at myself. I think that's very healthy to do. I feel that this may be a rebirth new moon for you, which would be quite lovely. Beautiful Libra, if anything that I shared in this reading resonates, or you just want to leave me a comment, I love hearing from you. Let me know in the comments below. Virgo. Hello, beautiful Virgo. Virgo, you are going to experience the new moon in Libra in your second house. Now, this is a new beginning, a fresh start, a balancing, a rebalancing, a prioritizing of your needs, or a reprioritizing, something perhaps that was put on the shelf before that you are now taking off the shelf and making a priority. The word priority, I say it multiple times during the first part of this video, and I will again in the readings because it is a key message of this new moon. Committing to your current priorities. Where might those priorities lie? in second house matters, which is your earned income, your values, your current values. A lot of our values have changed. They've shifted with all of these major planets changing signs this year, and with the new era of Neptune and Saturn. The era is really Neptune in Aries. But, very shortly, within a few months, as we get to the beginning of 2026, we're going to have the new era of Neptune and Aries firmly in place. And that is part of the energy, in a sense, of this new moon, which I talk about in the first part of this reading. Why do I bring it up now? Because Neptune is your vision. Neptune is what your heart most wants. And during this new moon, Venus opposes Neptune, saying, let's really tune into what you need, want, desire. Let's commit to our happiness. Let's commit to it, even if we don't know how we're going to make it happen. But not only that, it's bringing unconditional divine love, the highest octave of love. It's a call for us to bring that into our physicality through our crown chakra, through all of the chakras, to receive that healing light and love from the divine. So that could be part of your experience as well. On a very practical level, Virgo, this new moon is asking you, is there anything that you want to shift in the area of material securities, your home, your possessions, your, the things that if I asked you, what makes you feel secure on a physical level in a material way, you might say, well, it's my bank account or my investments, or the fact that I have a nice home and I love my home, or the fact that I love myself. You might say, I've been working on self-love. I've been increasing my sense of deserving. The second house really is about you being self-reliant, you knowing that you can provide for your own needs. So when we have a new moon in the second house, sometimes we want to buy a new possession, or you could be downsizing and selling possessions. You could be looking to, your focus is probably either financial, paying off a debt, or getting a extra income from doing something else, side gigs. Your sense of security in the world. And how can you feel like that's in balance with your values, in alignment with your values, a commitment to creating a material life that makes you feel more secure, but also that makes you feel like this is very supportive of my happiness. This is what I want, to be happy. Okay, so Virgo, and I know it's different for all of you. Some people, we all have a different degree of need when it comes to that sense of, I feel secure physically. For some people, they feel secure because they feel good in their bodies, and they exercise, they work out, they feel strong, and the strength in your own physical body can make you feel more secure in this physical realm as well. Okay, Virgo, let's see what the cards have to say for you. Overall, though, that this is balance and harmony, and bringing that back into your life if you felt like it was out of balance. And some of you may want to leave a job if it's not paying you what you know that you deserve or desire to make. Some of you may want to shift into your own business, do something different that gives you more freedom. All right, Virgo, have I talked enough yet? Virgo. All right, your card is, yes, the Garden of Venus. What's cool is Venus is connected to money, security, comforts, pleasures of life. Venus is it's the ruler of Libra, where the new moon is, but it's also the ruler of Taurus, and Taurus in this big zodiac rules the second house, and this is your second house new moon. So it's saying, relax, rest and renewal. Step into the Garden of Venus. What I love about this card is not only the image of all these flowers and the colors are so beautiful, but the fact that it's a portal. There's a portal here, and there's a heart up here, and there are butterflies, which represent transformation. Birds, actually, they're hummingbirds. Hummingbirds represent joy. And, this is like your own sacred garden, going into a sacred garden. And in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes, I have a meditation that guides you into your own secret sacred garden to connect with your inner child. So that might resonate with some of you. rest and renewal. This is just all about the Libra beauty, rest, taking care of you. As you take care of you and relax, you'll be able to more magnetically attract what your heart most desires in terms of material things as well. So beautiful, Virgo. If anything I shared resonates and you want to share in the comments below, I would love to hear. Leo. Hello, beautiful Leo. Leo, you are going to experience your new moon in Libra, which makes a beautiful sextile to your energy. Sextiles are blessings. They are tangible, something happening in your life, something that feels, very supportive. They're quite supportive. It's ease and flow. And this is happening for you in your third house. The third house is where we are often busy during a new moon. We often have a lot going on. It is Libra after all, which is social, and the third house is the social house. So, you could have a lot of extra connecting kinds of experiences with other people, whether it's in the checkout line when you are buying groceries, or it's at the gym, or with your friends at the yoga studio, whatever you do on a regular basis, or you just hop into a coffee place and you start talking to somebody. It will be, for many of you, more chatty this new moon. And, it's not just your interactions with people on a regular basis. It's also relationships with siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins. So more communication could be happening there. You could be healing a relationship with one of those people. You could shift your mindset. This is the house of communication, learning, growth, mindset, writing, short trips, devices. This is like the long weekends or the day trips. Freelance work, if you do that. If you have your own website, if you have your own online store, if you have any sort of platform where you are making money through talking to other people, whether it's in person or online, or you could have an actual storefront in your local area. It's the house of our local comings and goings, where you have an office, for example. Your neighborhood, more conversations with neighbors, landlords, mortgage brokers. You get the idea. But Leo, what is this new moon supporting us in? It's supporting us to, as the full moon we just had in Aries supported us to take the reins of our life and go for something that's really important to us. That was in your ninth house. It was in your ninth house of expansion, new horizons, teaching, learning, a degree program for some of you. That was, go back and watch the Aries video if you're curious, because both of those lunations, the full moon's feeding into this new moon. The full moon showed us something that we now want to take forward in the new moon energy that we're reflecting on, that we're setting intentions around. And that means that there was something that very possibly that full moon that trined your energy beautifully, very possibly it gave you a new inspiration to do something. And then now you're possibly figuring out in your life, what needs to move around? What needs to be put into place? What am I prioritizing or committing to so that I can make my new dream, new moon, new dream, new moon vision or project, or, something in your neighborhood or something in your work life, perhaps, especially if you are a freelancer, you have your own business, or you have a side gig. What are you launching? Or, the launch doesn't happen during the new moon. The new moon is when we're reflecting, we're deciding, we're reprioritizing. That's a big theme of this new moon. So Leo, let's see what the cards have to say for you. The key is balance. The key is harmony and feeling like you're not doing it alone. You have a team, or you have a person who has your back, or you have your guides in spirit that are helping you. You have support. That's part of this energy very much. And some of you might want a new device. Some of you might buy a new car during this time. It could be very practical, anything from the practical to the esoteric. Leo, your card is diving into a task. So with third house energy, it's often related to communications with other people. It's related to our thinking. You could be rewiring, retelling your story, your narrative. You could be reframing a situation that you want to change. Taking back your power, Leo. You are, according to this card, diving into some task that you are going to be successful at if you go deep enough. Do you see the mermaid, how she's going very deep? She's in the ocean, she's going quite deep. And she's in her full power. She knows her grace. She knows that going deeper into something, the deep diver, going deeper into something is going to help her to be more successful. It's going to help her get to the root of something, to the heart of the matter. So it could be something like, I'm diving into a task like taxes, which it's not really the time of year for that, but some sort of planning, maybe some sort of preparing for something, or maybe you're diving into the task of like creating a website, or you are diving into a deep reflective kind of task like inner child healing, or purging a fear that comes up potentially with the square that we're having, the out of sign square to Pluto. Whatever it is for you, it's well worth it. It's well worth doing the deep dive to come out of it with clarity, confidence, and a clearing that moves you forward, beautiful Leo. If anything that I shared resonates and you want to let me know in the comments, or you want to just share what's going on for you, I would absolutely love to hear. Cancer. Hello, beautiful Cancer. Cancer, I have my moon and rising in Cancer, and this new moon in Libra is happening for you in your 4th house of home, family, childhood conditioning, roots, the desire to belong. The 4th house is also our mother line, and where we do ancestral healing, which is very much connected to Cancer energy. So what is this saying? A new moon here. This new moon is asking us to prioritize what matters most to us. And of course, it's a new moon, so we're coming up with a new vision, or we're reflecting on our values and what we need to feel more emotionally secure. That's a very Cancer thing. A fresh, clean slate. This can be for you that you are doing some inner work on the family line, the mother line, or your own inner child. It could be that, but it could also be that your heart's desire right now, what you're prioritizing, what you are committing to in terms of your own happiness, has to do with your home. It could have to do with finding the right home. It could have to do with wanting to build a home, wanting to move to a different place, wanting to feel like your home is a sanctuary. That could be remodeling, of course. That could be redoing furniture. That could be saging your home. A lot of different ways that we can do that. But what is the big picture? The big picture is you feeling rooted and like you belong wherever you are. And if you don't, you could really be putting to work some, taking some steps on moving in that direction. And my advice for everybody here is that if we don't know how we can make something happen, if we don't feel like we can. So for example, maybe you wanted to buy your own home. Maybe you want to move to another country. Maybe you want to move to another state. Maybe you've been living at home and you want to move out of your home. And if you don't know how that's going to happen because you don't have the money in the bank to do it, you don't have the mortgage, you don't have whatever it takes right now, this is where we are asked to call on the divine and to expect. I wasn't planning to say these words, but they just came through, so I'm going to say them. Expect a miracle. Expect a miracle. Miracles are a shift in consciousness, right? Miracles are something that's always been there, but we didn't see it. And to get that miracle, what do? We align our mind. We align our mind and mindset. We open up to the possibility. We align it with what we most desire. We get into the vortex. We imagine, sense, feel that we have it. So that is something that you might do during this time. And because it's Libra energy and you're Cancer, that means a square, and squares are tension that create action. So I think this is something, leave me a comment, Cancer, let me know. I think this is something that for a lot of you is something that you really, really want. And this is what that new moon is about. It's about us really, really wanting something and taking action in that direction, even though we don't know exactly how it's going to come together. Some of you may know how it's going to come together. Some of you may feel like, yeah, I've got the money, I'm going to start doing this. But others of you, and it's not, money is not the only obstacle in life, right? So-called obstacle, perceived obstacle. There are others, right? Maybe one of you in a partnership wants to move and the other one doesn't, maybe. And it's, again, not just moving. This could have nothing to do with your actual physical home. It could have everything to do with your family of origin, everything to do with a family member that you want to heal a relationship with, or that you want to cut ties in your relationship. Or maybe this sense of, I'm not from here, I don't belong here. There could be those kinds of feelings too. But how do you root yourself where you are, even with some of those feelings of homesickness that we often feel for the other realm, the homesickness for heaven, the feeling homesick for, being in that realm of divine love? Whatever it is, it's saying you deserve to feel at home wherever you are. So let me pull a card for you, Cancer, and see what the cards have to say. I just get this feeling, this message of dream big. Let yourself dream big. Let's decide that you can have what you want, because you are the co-creator of your life. You're the co-creator. Once you decide that you want something and you decide unconditionally, this is not negotiable. I know I need this in my life, so I'm going to have it. Then that is what gets all the forces of the universe to come and meet you halfway and help give you the support to do it. Okay, Cancer. Movement toward adventure. Do you want to have an adventure, Cancer? Because water energy, the spirit of the river, is moving you toward that adventure. And anything can be an adventure if it's an adventure to you, right? It's 50, number 50, which is 5, change, adventure, freedom, amplified by 0, the divine, spirit, God. And it's the spirit of the river moving you forward. You're moving down the river. Movement is happening. If you felt stuck, if you felt stagnant, whatever it is that your heart most wants, movement is happening. You might want to go in and have a talk with your inner child and let your inner child know that life is shifting, life is moving. You're moving in a wonderful direction. You are going toward a great and grand adventure. Beautiful Cancer. I would love to hear if you want to share whether that resonates with you. I love hearing from you. Gemini. Hello, beautiful Gemini. Gemini, the new moon in Libra, which makes a beautiful trine to your energy. Ease and flow. It's the best aspect you can get. Just it's a soft, sweet, lovely energy for you, Gemini. The wind at your back. It's happening for you in my most favorite house in the zodiac. I know that astrologers are not supposed to have favorites, but I love the 5th house. I love the 5th house so much. Why? Because it is the house of joy. It is the house of joy. It's the house of joy, unbridled, free, authentic, creative expression, true love and romance, and the sweetness of the innocence of the child. Your children, other people's children, your own inner child. So what is not to love about that? The 5th house is where we go do things just for fun. We're meant to just have fun because fun lights us up. It raises our vibration. It makes life on this earthly plane more enjoyable. So this is saying, this new moon, there's a theme here of reprioritizing joy, prioritizing what lights you up, prioritizing what makes you happy, Gemini. And the thing about Geminis, I have a Gemini sun. The thing about Geminis, and you can let me know if you resonate with this or not, is that because you're a dual sign, you have 1 foot in the ethereal realm, 1 foot in the material realm, and Geminis can worry. Why? Because there can be such a stark contrast between the material realm and the heavenly higher octave of, ease and flow. There's nothing we have to do when we're in the ethereal realm except just be, just float, just take in. It's why people say that when they have a near-death experience and they go to the other side, they don't want to come back. right? The vast majority, I don't even know if I've ever read or heard of an experience where somebody went to the other side and experienced that pure love feeling and wanted to come back. You know, they're usually told they have to go back, which is kind of amazing to me because, you know, many of us have people here that we wouldn't want to leave. And yet when we're on the other side, we're so in that higher octave of bliss that we don't want to come back. So why am I bringing this up? Because that's one side of the Gemini experience. And the other side is this thud, this thud of being back in the earthly realm, in the body, and so forth. Not to say that we don't have many wonderful, blissful experiences here on earth, but the reason I think that Geminis can worry is because often as Geminis, we assume that we can have those feelings, those heavenly, blissful feelings. Why can't we have those more often or all the time? And Earth school, if you want to see it that way, can be more challenging. Gemini, I'm saying this because the new moon in Libra wants you to prioritize bliss. It wants you to prioritize the lusciousness of life. It wants you to prioritize anything that you feel has been missing in your life in these fifth house realms. Do you have true love and romance if you want it? Do you have, anything associated with children that, again, we're all different. We all have different desires and so on. So these are just some questions I'm throwing out as your coach, asking you, create your creativity. Is there anything that feels like it's not in balance? You need more of it to have your life in balance. That is what this new moon is saying. Commit to that, commit to it, intend it, do the vision board about it, or whatever it is that you like to do to be in that vortex of energy and begin to attract it to you, co-create it in your life, Gemini. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. Beautiful Gemini, the heir of Libra. You will probably have more, this would be a good time. Oh, a card just flipped. I love it when that happens. This is a good time if you want to date and you haven't been dating, to think about online dating or to think about getting out more so you can meet more people. The card that just flipped, or to deepen your current relationship if you're in one, or to spend more time with children if that's what lights you up, or to do more creative things. Stars in the sky, limitless possibility. What do you see in this card, Gemini? What is this card drawing you into? When I see this card, I see this person being lifted by divine love. I see them being filled with new energy, light codes, putting you on a new timeline, on a bridge. You're on the bridge. You're ready to go into the next timeline. Your life is not here anymore. This is where you were. It's not quite here. You're moving toward the new timeline, the new consciousness. Your consciousness is being lifted, and you're realizing that you are a being of limitless possibility. Stars in the sky. So focus on maybe spend more time looking at the stars. Maybe get an astrology consultation. A lot of times people will get an astrology reading and they feel like, okay, I've had a reading, I know my chart. I cannot tell you how many more things we learn about our chart when we do multiple readings. That's my experience. Almost every time I do an astrology consultation, people say, I've had readings before, but I never knew this, that, or the other thing. The point is there's a lot of depth to your chart. So you might want to delve into that deeper with myself or another astrologer. But beautiful Gemini, you are a star in the sky. You are a star in your own life, and you have at your disposal limitless possibility. You are limitless possibility. If you want to claim this in the comments below, I would love to hear. Taurus. Hello, beautiful Taurus. Taurus. The new moon in Libra is happening for you in your 6th house. The 6th house is our daily ins and outs of life. It's our work environment, whether we work at home or someplace else. The people that we work with. It's our health. It's the routines that we do to stay healthy. Habits, whether they're positive or not good for us. Our lifestyle. So every new moon asks you, what is your vision for this area of your life? What do you want to co-create going forward, Taurus? Do you want to change your daily life up, your rhythm, your schedules. You know, are you doing what you want to do for your physical body? Are you eating the things that you want to be eating? Is there anything that's maybe been a little bit in excess that you want to trim? Is there anything that you want to take on that feels like it would be really supportive for your energy? Because really, the sixth house is how we manage our energy. And some of you, because it's a new moon and it's reflective and it's where we do decide what we want going forward, some of you may want to make a change in any of these areas, and you may change how you do your daily work, what you do for work. You might want to change your job. You might want to, you know, change the people that you work with, the supervisor, if you have a supervisor, or maybe you are a supervisor of others. Maybe you are starting your own business, or you want to be, maybe you want more freedom, more flexibility in your days. This is a moon that's asking us to prioritize what's in alignment with our values now. Have your values changed? Have your priorities changed? Some of you could be like, I don't want to work anymore. Maybe you are getting closer to being able to retire. What I think is so amazing now is with this fire movement, because this was never part of my upbringing. You know, maybe it was, but it wasn't talked about. When I was growing up, people didn't talk about, you know, fire and saving money and retiring really early. There are people who retire in their 30s now. And what is retirement anyway? It can just be you wanted to you know, do something that feels more like a passion or a vocation. So that could be part of what's going on for you as well. It is Libra energy, and that usually brings more conversations, relationship-oriented themes in. So if that's happening for you, it could be relationships with people that you see on a regular basis or that you work with. Okay, so Taurus, that said, let us pull a card for you now. One just fell down, but I'm not counting that as a flip because it felt a little more, didn't feel. So I'm reshuffling, and let's see what the cards have to say for you, Taurus. Libra new moon. Curiosity. It's time to get curious. Okay, this is such an interesting card to me. It's called the Stranger. And the gist, first of all, look at this person. They're like a bionic person, right? They're otherworldly. They have superpowers. They can think thoughts, and they send these laser lights out through their movements and their thinking. One thing that comes to me is, just because this is the sixth house of physical, all health, including physical, could have to do with just, you know, getting stronger in your physicality. But it's also, I think, it's acknowledging that you have the power, you have superpowers that take you beyond what we would think we were capable of just because of our physical earthly nature. Way beyond that. Look at the figure, you know, this person's bionic, right? But also it's saying, you know, we use this word stranger. We say, oh, that person's a stranger. It's kind of an odd word if you think about it. Are we really strangers to anyone? Really? We're all human. We all have a lot in common. We're all spirits. We all have, you know, I believe, light and dark. And so this is saying, get curious about anything that you find strange, or any person that you find strange, but that is somehow in your energy field, in your awareness, something that is you're drawn to in any way. You could be repulsed by it, especially if you're repulsed by it. It's saying, get curious about it, because maybe something that you feel is strange, or something that you are distancing yourself from, maybe there's healing in that for you. Maybe there's a part of your own shadow, and shadow can be our light and our dark, that is calling you to integrate it. And that's where curiosity can really open something up for you, beautiful Taurus, and expand you and bring you into the light. So if anything that I shared, you let me know your reading of this, because this is a really fascinating card, the image in and of itself. If there's anything you want to share, I would absolutely love to hear. Aries. Hello, beautiful Aries. Aries, this new moon in Libra is happening in your opposite sign. And it is therefore happening in your seventh house of partnerships. So, Libra, of course, rules partnerships. Aries, you're very aware of this because you have your seventh house in the sign of partnerships. Partnerships are, of course, not just romantic. They are best friends. They can be best friends. They can be business partnerships. They can be, people we live with. They can be people that we spend a lot of time with. And so what is this new moon saying? There's a call for a fresh, clean slate. All new moons are new beginnings. All new moons are saying it's time to have a new vision for this area of your life. But this one in particular, because it makes an out of sign square to Pluto, which I talk about in part 1 of this video, it's also a detoxing new moon in a sense for those of us who are going to feel it more intensely. You could feel that there's something being detoxified in your life. You could feel that you are having to address what you're passionate about, what you are, unconscious fears could come up for you, anger could come up for you. This is a new moon in which we are meant to clear and purge anything that has been in the dark that hasn't been brought to light. So important conversations with partners, important being honest, sharing your truth with others. Pluto is the sign of the planet of truth. We are meant to do that during this new moon, because for a lot of you, this new moon is feels to me like a new chapter. It feels to me like a really new beginning for you. Like, not all new moons are new beginnings, but this feels like a very significant new beginning for some of you. And if you aren't already in partnership, or this new moon doesn't feel like it's pertaining to any particular person in your life, then it could be more about your vision for partnership, or your vision for partnering with your spirit if you don't want to be in partnership. But we're all in partnership with something, right? We're all in relationship to multiple areas of our life. And this could be for some of you that, maybe it's been a long time since you've been in a relationship, and you could be on the fence. You could be like, I don't know if I want to be in a relationship or not. Or maybe you feel like it's been too long since you've been in one, or maybe you feel like, I never want that again. Whatever it is, if it's coming up for you, it's coming up for you for a reason, and it's meant to be reflected upon so that you can bring balance back into your life. It's not about whether you have it or not. It's about whatever you have. Are you happy with what you do have? Are you committed to your own happiness? This new moon wants us to commit to our own happiness on a very deep level and then put action toward that. Okay, Aries, and we just had that full moon in your sign. So if you want to leave me a comment about what that was like for you, or anything else that I'm sharing in this reading, I would love to hear. Let's see what the cards have to say for you. Aries, the sky dancers. When I look at this card, so see, here's the full moon that we just had in your sign. And here's a dragonfly, and dragonflies represent transformation. It's saying the sky dancers surrender. If you felt like that was an intense full moon for you, or if you're feeling like this new moon has some intensity to it, or you don't know what to do, or you feel like you are, as we say, a rock in a hard place, I think that's the expression. If you feel like you don't know your direction, you don't know what step to take or where to go, or you feel stuck, surrender is the answer. Letting the divine show you the way. You are in the middle of a transformation. You are shedding a skin. Watch for signs. Watch for dragonflies. Watch for signs from the divine that are going to show you something that's deeper inside of you that you haven't seen perhaps up until this moment. There's a new soul essence of you, Aries, that is coming into your awareness when you surrender. A new aspect of you that wants to take form or express itself. After all, that full moon was in your first house of you, your first house of identity. Now we're taking whatever we learn, any clarity, any aha moment, any illumination, any stress or emotions that came up during that full moon, we're taking that, we're applying it to our relationship life. And again, we're all in relationship with someone, something, or our own hearts, right? What does your heart want, beautiful Aries? Let me know in the comments below if you want to share, if you want to claim your surrender. You know, surrender isn't one of those things that on a human level, especially for Aries. Aries, I know you, I have Mars in Aries. Aries like to keep forging forward, right? You want to always feel like you're going up, up, up. It's a little bit of the climbing the ladder, but the climbing the ladder is not the best reference to make because it makes it sound like it's, you know, corporate or traditional and all that. And it doesn't have to be that. You may be very non-traditional. It's your sign is the sign of the entrepreneur, doing it your way, doing, you know, your life your way. But you may feel, Aries, that you don't want to surrender. You want to just keep going. And yet, remember, there's a new aspect of you, a new essence of you, a new consciousness, perhaps for some of you, that is going to open up your next step, and surrender may be necessary to get there. So if anything I shared resonates and you want to share in the comments below, I would love to hear. Pisces, hello, beautiful Pisces. Pisces, you are going to experience the new moon in Libra. Fresh start, new beginning, reprioritizing, balancing, harmonizing in the 8th house. The 8th house of emotional attachments, power and control, a relationship and a money house. The 8th house is the house where we ask questions like, when will my house sell? Or can I buy a new house? Or can I get a loan for this? Or, you know, can I pay off this debt? Or, you know, is my spouse or significant other or best friend supportive of this new venture that I want? Or do I want to have a new business partner? Or is my business partner still in alignment with me? These kinds of questions. So it's a new moon. That's a new beginning. That's a new vision. That's a fresh, clean slate. And it brings, you know, this is a house that is full of emotional charge, usually the 8th house. It's because we don't want anyone moving our cheese. We don't want any, have you read that book? I love that title, Don't Move My Cheese, or there's something like that. But, you know, the idea is that we don't want anyone messing with our investments. We don't want our investments to lose. You know, we don't want the stock market to go down if we're invested in the stock market when we have an 8th house, you know, especially if we're having an 8th house transit. Pisces, there's a lot going on for you now. Right after this new moon, the next day, Neptune is going to retrograde back into your sign. Saturn's already retrograded back into your sign. You could be feeling that if you have planets or points in your sign in the very high degrees, like 29, 28, 27. It will Saturn will go all the way back to 25 degrees, I believe. This is a looking back. This is a, you know, making sure that you've shed the old skin, that you have connected to your emotions, you've forgiven yourself, you've forgiven others, you have, you know, tried perhaps the tool of radical self-acceptance or compassion for yourself, for your own heart. But now in the 8th house of power, this is overall big picture saying it's a new moon to reclaim your power, Pisces, to step into the next chapter of your life, the next phase, the next era, because Neptune in Aries, and Neptune will move back into Aries after it's retrograde into your sign. And we will move back, you know, in January. I talked about this in part 1 of the video. It is a new era for you, and that's exciting. But we're not quite there yet. So here we are in the 8th house, you know, meant to balance these very emotionally charged things. And it could have to do with emotional and sexual intimacy with a partner as well. Some of you could be, you know, figuring out where you stand with a partner. You could be figuring out, do you want to take the relationship to the next level? If you've been committed, but you haven't moved in together, this is the house where you would take that relationship to the next level. 8th house, sharing time, money, resources, sharing a home, some of you, you know, or maybe you haven't combined money and now you want to combine money a lot of different ways, or maybe you're buying an asset like a home with another person or considering doing that. So a lot to think about, a lot to ponder and reflect on. And I encourage, of course, always encourage courageous conversations with partners, with people that you're working with. You know, it could be talking to a financial advisor as well. Any kind of connection with an advisor whether it's an astrologer or, getting someone to stage your home if you want to sell it, a realtor, or getting financial advice. This is a good time when you have a new moon in your 8th house to seek out that support. Okay, so Pisces, let's see what the cards have to say for you. What would bring you more balance? What would bring you more harmony? What would help you to commit to what your heart most desires? That's this new moon. Pisces. A sacred contract, covenant. I'm going to show you the image in a moment, but I want to say sacred contract is a contract with the divine, right? It's a contract with your own spirit. It's a contract with your higher self. And it could also be a contract with another person. It could be a marriage contract. It could be a business partnership contract. It could be buying a business. It could be selling a house or buying a house. Whatever it is, it feels sacred to you. And it has to have that element. If it's not a contract with the divine, in terms of like your, for some of you, when I think of sacred contract, I think of you really deepening your bond with your spiritual guides, a guide, spirit, God, really living that energy and that bond more in your daily practical life. But if it's not something like that on the more ethereal level, it may be for you that whatever you are signing a contract about, it has to feel sacred, or it does feel sacred to you. And it has to be in integrity with your spirit. It has to be in integrity with your soul. Beautiful Pisces, if anything that I shared resonates for you and you want to share in the comments below, I would love to hear. Aquarius, Aquarius. Beautiful Aquarius, you are ready for new scenery. You are ready to expand. Some of you are ready to move to another country or travel in another country. Take a course, do something that expands you, something that feels like an adventure. This new moon is happening in your 9th house of expansion. It is Libra energy, which makes a trine to your energy. That is the wind at your back, that the easiest aspect, the most flowing, my words. I feel like I have 3 ping pong balls in my mouth while I'm talking. It trines your energy and it moves you forward. It is filling up your sails, beautiful Aquarius, and it's moving you on. Now I'm seeing a catamaran and just that like beautiful. Have you ever been on a catamaran or been on a boat in Hawaii and you've got that fresh tropical breeze? That's what I'm sensing and feeling right now. And you're just like moving swiftly. It feels like you're moving quickly. That's really cool. So say yes to, you'll be reflecting most likely, as we always do during new moons. Say yes to, if it feels right, anything that will bring you freedom and adventure, anything that feels like you are in alignment with your philosophies, with, it's the house of seeking. You could be seeking something. You could be learning a lot about astrology or learning about some other modality, spiritual modality. You could be cutting ties to a religion. You could be cutting ties to any school of thought or way of thinking that has felt oppressive to you. You could be, really feeling like your heart could be on fire right now for expanding and learning about another culture or visiting another culture. Broadcasting, podcasting, teaching, learning, they all fall within this house. It's a new beginning. It's a reprioritizing of your values. It's a recommitting to your happiness. Beautiful Aquarius. Does anything I just shared resonate? Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for being present and supportive of our connection. I just really, really appreciate it. Let's pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say. I love this new moon for you. I mean, there's nothing better than a trine in the 9th house of expansion. Are you ready to expand? Let us know in the comments below. Compassion. Have you given yourself or another, if it comes up for you, compassion recently? This card is so cool. It's called the Heart Home. There's so much red. It reminds me of the root chakra. It reminds me of a sense of belonging and rootedness. And you could be moving your home. You could be changing your home in some way. That's not the ninth house, but especially if you're thinking of moving to another place, especially a foreign place, this could be part of your process. Or, it's the heart home. Are you following your heart? Are you staying connected to what your heart most wants? Because that is the key. If you look closely at this card, you see a keyhole. There's a keyhole here, and it's saying the key to your you're being able to feel rooted in this earthly plane is compassion, is being connected to your heart. And when we're connected to our heart, it's easier to give others compassion. It's easier to have compassion for ourselves, to drop any grievances that we may have toward another person or toward something that has happened in our life that could be in the way distant past, it could be in the present. But to move forward and to move on, Aquarius, it's saying compassion is key to your process, key to your process. Your heart is the key to your happiness and your destiny when you say yes and follow your heart's desire. Beautiful Aquarius. Let me know in the comments below if that resonates. I would love to hear. Capricorn. Hello, beautiful Capricorn. Capricorn, you are going to experience this fresh start, clean slate, new beginning, reprioritizing or prioritizing what your heart most desires. New moon in Libra in your 10th house of career vocation, the house of passion, the house of following what your heart most wants and doing what you love. Sometimes this is a profession, oftentimes it is, but oftentimes it's also where we feel like something is missing in our life, where we want to spend more time doing something else that really lights us up. Capricorn, this new moon, and also I want to say, if you're retired or semi-retired, or you are just focused on your purpose, maybe you don't have to work, maybe you want to just do something that's more meaningful to you, that's part of this energy as well. And same with legacy, something, if you want to leave anything to others, if there's something that you want to share from your heart, a contribution you want to make to humanity or to your community or your family, that is relevant for this new moon as well for you. Venus is also in Libra during this new moon, so that means that Venus is here and the sun and the moon are here, and this is really supporting you to follow your heart, because we have to meet the needs of Venus, and Venus in Libra wants harmony in relationships. Venus in Libra wants to feel like she is supported. She wants to feel like there's balance. And so if anything is out of balance in these areas of life that I mentioned, career, life purpose expressed, how you spend your time, it's really big picture, how you spend your time, and is it meaningful to you? If it doesn't feel that way to you in some way, or if you feel like there's something lacking or something missing, this new moon says it's a time to reflect and rectify what that is and create a vision for what you most want. And I know, Capricorn, the energy's been a little bit, we're in this time of profound change. So much is moving and changing around us. Our neighborhoods, our government, everything, so much is changing. And that can make it hard to really feel like there's stability in this area of your life. But really deep down, what this new moon is about is getting clear on what is not negotiable, what we need for our happiness. And I'm not talking just material things, although it could be something material, but I'm talking what our heart needs, what our emotional self needs to be happy. And because this new moon, is across from your 4th house of home and family, those themes can come in sometimes as well. So Capricorn, I have been shuffling for you. Let us see what the cards have to say. We are meant to be bold during this new moon. Obviously, there's the reflection period first, and that's not a usually bold time of action. That's a time of going inward. There's no moon in the sky. We can't see the moon. It's a dark moon. But as we come out of that and the moon starts to grow, that's when we start to feel, we see. That's what I love about the moon, is it literally tracks our energy and our energetic system. And as it grows, our hope grows and our desire to take action grows. And then when we get to the full moon, it often pops. There's an inner pop, like, now I see, an illumination. Now something does come to fruition. Or we may have to wait, between this new moon, we may have to wait. And I don't mean wait, like sit and wait. it may not be until 6 months from now that whatever we envisioned actually really comes to, full blossoming, but there's a lot that can happen in between, and sometimes it happens sooner than that. Okay, Capricorn, your card is Sky Riding the Fates. There is something fateful that is in store for you. Doesn't mean, though, that you should sit back and wait for something to happen. Sky riding, you are meant to write out your vision. This could be scripting for some of you. This could be you imagining, sensing, feeling in a visualization it happening. But you are meant to energize it. We have to energize what we most want, right? Most of the time, us getting into that energy, the vortex, as Abraham Hicks says, we have to get into the vortex most of the time and feel it and imagine it and sense it. And that's a form of skywriting as well. There's a fateful meeting for some of you. There's a fateful opportunity. There's a fateful connection that is potentially going to be part of either this new moon experience or as we get to the full moon 6 months from now. It's a 49. 49 reduces to a 4 in numerology. That's structure, that's hard work, that's discipline. Is there anything that you haven't been doing, Capricorn? And you are ruled by Saturn, so you are no stranger to hard work. You love working, most of you. Is there any structure or any step that you could take as the moon begins to grow after the dark moon that you could do to begin to move the energy in the direction that you want it to go? You are supported. The fates, fate and destiny are supporting you, fully supporting you. Beautiful Capricorn. So if anything that I shared resonates and you want to share with me in the comments and the rest of us, I would love to hear. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, beautiful Sagittarius. The new moon in Libra is happening for you in your 11th house of fulfillment. What will bring you happiness in your heart? The 11th house is where we have visions and intentions for getting supported, for sharing with others. The 11th house is connected to allies and supporters. It's connected to long-term financial gains as well, and communities, online support, or you having your own online platform, you having, getting support or giving support through social media platforms. The 11th house is in the tarot deck. It's the World card. It represents a full circle completion. This is a new moon, so it's a brand new chapter of what will bring you fulfillment. What is your current dream? What lights you up, Sag? That is this full moon, and we are new moon, and we are meant to during this new moon, we are meant to prioritize what lights us up the most. Prioritize your dream. Some of you may want to start your own online community. Some of you might want to get involved with, like do an online dating profile if you haven't done that. Some of you may be saying, I'm not doing online dating anymore. I'm calling quits to that. I'm going to go out and do more things in public so I can meet more people doing the things that I love. Sag, this is the 11th house is a house where signs and synchronicities, divine downloads, activating your magic, there's a lot of sparkly energy here for you. So it's a matter of you deciding that you are ready to put your focus, time, and energy towards something that is going to bear fruit for you. You get a sextile from this energy, and sextiles are beautiful because what do sextiles do? They bring us tangible blessings. They bring us something that we can touch, feel, we can experience with our five senses. That is an upgrade in some way. It's an opportunity. It's something that makes us feel like, yes, I am making this happen. This is happening. It's a very good feeling. Sag, what is the dream of your life now? That's what this new moon wants you to do. And it really is saying that something that may not have been a priority before is now a priority. Some of you may want to do some world travel. Some of you may be promoting or branding a business. You may really want to connect with more people. That's the 11th house. Whether it's in love or in business or in friendship, you know, or maybe going to a church, something like that. Anything that, or meetup groups, anything that makes you feel like you are more connected to community. Let's see what the cards have to say for you, Sag. Sag. Wandering between realms. Do you feel like you're straddling worlds? Do you feel like you have one foot in the ethereal realm and one foot in the earthly realms? I mean, that is how we do bring things into manifestation, right? This person in this card is a warrior. They are doing the yoga warrior pose. And they are, you know, what this reminds me of as this person is, you know, putting their angel wings straight up in the air. It reminds me of you, Sag, of pulling the arrow back, targeting, you know, a bullseye, targeting a specific goal. But they're in their strength. They're in that warrior pose. They're being a spiritual warrior. They are filling themselves with divine light, the purple. They are willing to speak up and out for what's important to them and ask for what they need, the blue. And they are receiving the white light of the divine realms. And Mother Earth is also fully supporting them. So if you feel like you're straddling worlds, you might be in the middle of a spiritual awakening. That's often when we feel like I'm not fully here, I'm not fully there, I'm straddling worlds. That can be really stressful. I want to acknowledge that. It can be really stressful to straddle worlds until we more and more learn how to do it. It's a skill, I think. It's a skill or a muscle, however you want to say it. It is something that over time we learn how to integrate and slip in and out. You know, it's a great time to do shape shifting. It's a great time to fly above your life and see things, see yourself in your life from a higher perspective. Lots of different tools that you can use to navigate the two realms, but just know that if you feel like you're wandering, that's what's meant to be happening right now, because you're in the middle of a consciousness upgrade. It sounds like you're moving into a new consciousness. You are stepping into a new timeline. That's very much this new moon. I talk about that at more length in part 1 of this video. We are getting on a new train. So if you want to claim that you are moving into a new consciousness or anything else, Sag, I love hearing from you. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Scorpio. Hello, beautiful Scorpio. Scorpio. First of all, happy birthday. Happy birthday to those of you who have birthdays in October. Your new moon in Libra and also Venus in Libra are both, the sun and the moon and Venus will all be in your 12th house of rest, retreat, the mystic, your inner realms. This is a very psychic new moon for you, a 12th house new moon. Wow, wow, wow. You could be channeling information. You could be receiving insights and downloads in your dreams at night. You could be reprogramming your subconscious mind. There is need for balance during this new moon between the ethereal and the material world. Some of you may find that because this is about balancing and harmonizing your worlds, right? But the 12th house is not of this world. You know, some of you are spiritually based, you know, people who do healing work with other people. So this could be a really lit up house for you during this new moon, or you could be deciding what kind of spiritual work you want to do in the world. You could be deciding that or creating a vision for that around this new moon time as well. I'm being called to say, embrace your 12th house superpowers. Really give yourself credit and acknowledge and own your ability to channel, your ability to share your intuitive gifts, your ability to. I'm also getting a message to shield your energy, to cleanse your energy, especially after working with people or being in the company of other people. When you do 12th house work, as I do, and I have a stellium in the 12th house in my natal chart, when we do 12th house work, we really have to do the extra psychic hygiene to clear our energy field, because you're more porous, more comes through, we can be more energetically accessible to others, and that is not always a good thing, right? Want to keep our own house clean, so to speak. We want to keep our energy, you know, cleansed and pure. You know, some of you may be really excited to raise your consciousness around this time. So many different ways that you can do that, whatever calls out to you. you know, whether it's meditation or yoga or guided visualizations. I do have several guided visualizations on my YouTube channel and one you can download from my website as well when you sign up to get my free inspirational astrology updates. I think this is going to be a beautiful new moon for you, Scorpio. Just keep in mind too that we're getting that out of sign square to Pluto, and that is in your energy because this new moon is at the very end degrees, carries over to the beginning degrees of your sign, squaring Pluto. So some of you may feel that as well. And if you do, that is a call to set a boundary and to take really good care of you and to release, purge, process anything that comes up emotionally, especially anger or fear. They're kind of Pluto things that emotions that tend to come up so that we can step into our power that much more. This may be a reclaiming your power kind of new moon for some of you. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what the cards have for you. Scorpio. I feel that some of you are going into a new level of sharing your gifts. I feel that strongly. The next level, whatever that is, whether you make money from it or not, it just feels like you're owning your power in that way. And this card is really interesting. It's a compass. It says the lost compass, getting back to integrity. There's so much light in this card. You know, when I look at this card, first of all, I think of the compass. I think of your true north, knowing the direction. Some of you may not be sure about your direction, but this is saying as long as you're in integrity with you, as long as you're in integrity with your own heart and soul, you don't have to worry if you feel lost. You're in the process of finding. Some of you are not there yet, but just go toward the light. Just keep channeling the light. You know, put yourself in that place of unconditional love, which I guide you to do in my meditations. You are not lost. You may feel temporarily lost. Why? Because you're probably going from one consciousness to another. And when we're doing that, we're not in a place to hatch something new yet. We're en route to that new consciousness in which the new thing, whatever that is for you, is going to be born. So that could be where you are right now. But getting back into integrity means realigning with your heart, realigning with your soul. Prioritize your inner realms right now, your inner sense of peace, compassion for yourself, compassion for others, your heart. Some sort of journey, an inner journey, may be really, really helpful for you to feel more connected to your own integrity, connected to the light, connected to your power. Look at all the power in this card, the creativity, the orange. Some of you may experience a burst of creativity, beautiful Scorpio, during this new moon. If anything that I shared resonates for you, I would absolutely love to hear. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Beautiful friends, thank you for joining me for this Libra new moon video. Thank you for your likes of this video, your thumbs ups. Thank you for your shares, your comments, and for subscribing to the channel. Your subscribes activate the algorithm, which then shares this video with more people on YouTube who love astrology, and that really helps support my work as well. If you would like more support, go to my website, check out the testimonials that other clients have shared after working with me. We can do an astrology consultation, life purpose, heart's desire, natal chart, relationship harmony. All of my readings are detailed on my astrology page. I also have coaching offerings. The links to both pages are in the description box below. So check those out. It will be my absolute joy to connect with you, to support you, to meet you on Zoom. If you'd like to get my free gift, which is a soothing guided meditation, reconnecting you to your spirit, connecting you to the unconditional love of the divine, receiving a gift from the divine, if you'd like to experience that, go to my website, subscribe for free to my weekly inspirational astrology updates, and you will get that free instant download guided meditation as well. Let me know how you're doing, my friend, your thoughts, your comments about this new moon. I would absolutely love to hear. And until my next video, I am sending you all my love.